Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, Jenna,
Yeah.
I think you've got the best nickname ever.
Definitely best nickname who graduated from MIC.
It's pretty cool. What is it?
Jenna Tools.
Jenna Tools.
I had a cool principal let me put that on my
Your
senior hoodie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Grandma wasn't very happy.
No, I still have it. I still pull it out as a party trick. Not many people believe me.
Well, I mean, on its own, it means nothing.
No.
So it's only,
And there was a space.
It's only clever if we know your first name.
Yes.
Jenna Tools. Hey, tell us a bit more about what you do, because you're doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so I'm in my final year for a Bachelor of Education, secondary, majoring in history and English. And I do dog shows, which not a lot of people know, and it's confirmation dog showing. I have border collies.
Confirmation, what does that mean?
So,
educate me.
So basically, every breed has a breed standard, and in the dog show world, there's 7 groups, and they're all categorized by what the breeds are for. So you've got terriers, hounds, toys, working dogs. So border collies in the working dog club. Well, there is a working dog club, and there's a breed standard, and it basically says a border collie should be X length, this height, shouldn't have a predominant white face. On the move, it should look like it's stalking. Temperament should be welcoming, friendly. Ears is a bit controversial because now they're letting in pricked ears. Ooh. Usually people like a fold, and a rose ear is also okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
And you train them, right?
Yep, I train them. My grandma's been doing it for over 50 years with corgis.
Yep.
But I like border collies more. They live out at her property, but I go and train them. I had my first litter last year on the 11th of April, so they're coming up to 1 year.
Wow.
One's gone to Japan and is a Japan junior champion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that gets you a tick, right?
It does.
And then when you breed, you charge more.
It's not about the money.
Ah!
We just do it to cover the
costs. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. And I know, like, from talking to you before and reading what you wrote, there's some tattoos about the dogs, but we're not going to go there yet.
Okay.
We're going to go there yet. What I want to ask you first is, why tattoos? Like, what was your motivation? You went, yeah, I'm going to put permanent ink on my skin.
Well, when you're a hardcore kid all your teenage life, and all your metalcore band idols have them, you're like, yeah, they're cool. Mum has tattoos, Dad doesn't, but it was just a cool way to like always have art on you, I guess. And to me, it's very much an aesthetic. Like,
okay.
It's a bonus that there's meaning.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any tattoo regrets?
Not yet.
Okay.
My uni friend Harry and I, we say we're long lost cousins.
Right.
And we're a bit bogan, and we're thinking when we graduate we're going to get a tramp stamp of such as life.
Ned
Yeah.
Kelly represent.
Yeah, because our favourite topic is cubs, cashed up bogans.
Right.
We think they're a dying breed.
Okay. So you get the old tramp stamp across
Yep.
just above the butt
Yeah,
crack.
I think a little one for me on my hip.
Right, okay.
But he's got heaps of dumb tattoos. He's got some really cool ones actually.
Okay. Maybe we should get him in for
I
a
might ask him if he's keen.
Okay. And what about reaction to your tattoos? Like, have you had any like really positive reactions or any negative reactions?
Yeah, when I got my first one, I came home, I told my parents it was small. It's actually not that small, but I think every time I go and get a tattoo, I'm like, yeah, this is only going to be small, but they end up being bigger.
Okay.
And so my mum, I came home and I said, oh, yep, here's my tattoo. And she just went, are you fucking kidding me? And then she goes, because this was in February 2020, so
right.
height of COVID,
yep.
and the rumour of like it started from a bat,
yep.
and I got bats.
Yep.
And so she went, are you fucking kidding? The fucking COVID virus? And I went, okay.
But she's got tattoos herself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
what about Nan?
she keeps going, no more.
No more.
After every single one, she goes, I really like it, but enough. She thinks it will affect my job opportunity.
Right.
And I think she is of the generation where she always says the only women who had tattoos were not the nice ones.
Sure.
So you can't blame her, I guess. But she's I don't know, I think I just keep getting them and she just kind of says no more.
No
But
more.
she's, worried. She wants me to work in private schooling, I think. But a lot of private schools still hire. They can't always discriminate unless it's cath ed.
Swish.
And you wear long sleeves.
Shirt to the interview.
Yeah, put the
You know?
piercings away. They'll be
I
like,
mean, I had a teacher here who had full sleeves
yeah,
and chest pieces or whatever, and he worked in private schools.
yeah,
Just wasn't allowed to show them.
exactly, yeah.
So, you know, always cuffs.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're going to avoid the hands
Yes.
and the neck.
Yes, yeah. There's no real desire for anything higher.
Okay.
And nothing really on the hands. I'm even hesitant to go here just
Sleeves,
because to me that it is where it gets pretty permanent. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it is really there.
Yeah, okay.
And plus, I don't know. I don't know what I would get. I don't know what I like that would cover that area.
fair
Could change.
Yeah, okay.
Might
Tell
find
me about
something.
your first one. Tell me about the bats. What's that all about?
So that was just to solidify that I'll always be a goth kid.
Yep.
But really it's more emo.
Yeah.
But it was just, I know something so alternative that I really like, and this really like is permanent. Can always have this little alternative thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
kind of
pretty
like a
much
nod to your past, your formative years,
Yeah.
kind of who you are, because you're still a bit of an emo kid.
Yeah, always. It's hard to shed.
So where'd you go from there? Like after you had like your bat tattoo on your ankle, what was next?
My stomach
Yeah, okay.
with my owl, and that was 5 hours, and I sat through it like a champ.
Yeah.
I remember watching Family Guy at the tattoo studio because that's what they had, and
Yeah.
trying not to laugh
Uh-huh.
at some of the dumb jokes because she's on my stomach.
Yeah.
A lot of people think here hurts more, right at the belly button.
Yeah.
I thought, oh my God.
That fleshy bit?
Yeah, it hurt.
Yeah, I got that the other day. I was talking to someone like doing an interview, and I always thought like the hard like kneecaps and elbows and collarbones would be or breastbone.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, the meaty bits.
Yeah, this I thought I was going to tap out for.
Yeah, they reckon that one.
That one really hurt.
Yeah.
But the stomach, like here,
Yeah.
hurt.
And what's the owl about? What's it about?
It's for my one of my first loves, which is film.
Yeah.
And it's for my favourite movie of all time, which is The Labyrinth, which is with David Bowie in it. I think the 80s just made the best cinema. You had early CGI that was corny but still served a purpose because there was still a lot of real special effects in the sense that there was still that movie magic of where you know it's not real but it still feels really lifelike. And I think a lot of cinema now that kind of tries to replicate that, I think still does a better job than maybe like your Marvel movies who are like purely CGI.
Yeah.
Or even like Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I do like a bit of Star Wars.
Star Wars they used a lot of models more than CGI and blue screen.
Well, the prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
The only ones that are worth watching, to be fair.
You don't like the originals?
That's what I mean. Like those ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
but
originals.
but then the prequels with Ewan McGregor, they're probably my comfort film.
Wow, Jar Jar Binks.
What
They
do you-
jumped the shark on that.
I know,
Worst character ever.
I know, poor guy.
Yeah.
But I still like it.
Okay. Well, you grew up with it.
Yeah, I guess
Whereas
so.
1974, I'm 11, and Star Wars is the best thing ever.
Yeah, true.
You know, and sometimes you just need to put a fork in things and go, we're done. That's the problem with the Marvel movies, right? Like, what another
I
one.
know. And same, I guess, with Star Wars now. It is
Yeah.
definitely franchising.
Yeah.
Although I am watching the Kenobi series.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in that, you know. I mean, that's Disney. We'll buy
Yeah.
something and milk it for every cent that it's worth, so that's cool.
But there is still some hidden gems where you're like,
Yeah.
it's good to see the character have a
That's
their
true,
full
character
arc.
arc, yep.
Yep.
Okay, so after the owl,
Yep.
after Hedgewig,
No. David.
David Bowie.
David Bowie.
After Bowie's owl,
Yeah.
where do we go from there?
I got my cow on my calf because my grandma found out her dad wasn't her dad and he was a Scotsman. And we're not sure the story, but she always says as soon as she gets to heaven, she's going to charge down her mum and ask, what the hell?
WTF.
Yeah. Yeah, so we found that out, and she found out at 70, which is crazy, from Ancestry.com.
Wow.
Yeah, she put hers in, and then her sister put it in and noticed that she was a half sister, but her sister didn't say anything for ages until my grandma noticed, and she goes, oh, they must have got it wrong. And she goes, I don't know, it seems pretty legit. And they figured it out, and they looked at everyone's family and found these family that her siblings didn't have, and they were Scottish.
All the way from Cooper's Plains.
Yep. Well, they owned a shop. My grandma grew up in Cooperoo on Bennett's Road, where she met my granddad at 5 years old. He lived across the road.
Wow.
Yep. They've known each other since they were 5.
Childhood sweetheart.
Yep.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And so the Highland Coo.
Yep, it's for that. Because I also went to Scotland with my grandma when I was 15 for dog show business. And yeah, we were both like, Scotland's like, you feel homesick for it now.
Okay.
Especially in that northern England part as well, like York.
Yeah.
Feel really homesick for it.
Yeah, I've been. Scotland's nice.
Yeah.
I'd like to get to Ireland.
Yeah.
I've not been there, but I've been to Scotland. It's pretty. It's nice.
It's pretty.
Can't understand the people in Glasgow, but anyway.
Yeah, when we first got to like Burger King, we were like, chicken nuggets, and they responded, and we were like, I'm gonna have to say that again. Didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I saw a busker who had an Australian beanie on.
Yeah.
Green and gold with Australian. Talk to a fellow Aussie. I'm like, slow down.
Have you tried haggis?
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's,
I liked it.
it's okay.
I liked it.
It's kind of like stuffing.
It is, right?
Yeah, it's like stuffing.
Just peppery.
Yeah, and as long as you don't think about what's in it. Because, we eat sausage rolls.
Yeah.
And meat pies, like who knows what's in that?
Exactly, yeah.
And we're fine with that. So haggis, I think it's just the idea of, it's awful and, people... Ugh.
Well, we went to this Edinburgh castle, and because my grandma's bucket list was see the Edinburgh tattoo, and they come in with the haggis still in like the lining, and you got to toast it.
Yeah.
That didn't affect me. I was like, whatever.
They come in the bag.
Yeah, and they came in with bagpipes, and it was so, in this little room, it's so loud.
Yep.
And they're like, you got to toast a dram of whiskey. My grandma doesn't drink alcohol, so I got drunk at 15 in this castle.
That's very Scottish.
It is. We were placed with all these other Aussies.
Yeah.
And they were like,
there you go.
Whatever.
All right, so a bit of heritage on your left calf. Tell me, obviously then you went up to the sleeve, yeah?
I started with my dragon.
The dragon.
And that's for my love of Lord of the Rings, and that's supposed to be Smaug. But some people who are really big Lord of the Rings fans are like, I thought Smaug would look more like this. And it's like, well, this is my interpretation.
Yeah. Get your own tattoo.
Yeah, I was like, no, this is my Smaug.
Yeah.
That one was good. That one hurt. What hurts a lot is when they get the white highlights, because it's a bigger needle, and they're going over already this really sensitive skin.
So you've already been poked, and they're poking you again
Yeah,
with a
and
larger
you're just
needle.
like, you're like, enough. But I went there. I got that one kind of on a whim, because I just wanted one on my arm.
Are they addictive?
A little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Because, like, it's just really fun.
Right.
Yeah. You're like, look at this.
Okay.
Got a new one.
And then you've got the hummingbird and
the
fox.
Which I got in the
I
same
think they're
day.
probably your most meaningful tattoos from what I read.
Yeah.
So tell us about the story behind the hummingbird and the fox.
So, because my grandma's been breeding Pembroke Corgis for over 50 years, she's made a lot of international friends. One of the few Australians that gets asked to judge in America and England pretty often, which is a pretty big deal, because, dog showing's left over from like the colonial days, and that's kind of like the birth of it, so it's a pretty big deal. And so she made friends with this lady called Carrie in West Virginia, and she bred this beautiful girl called Nikki, and she was hummingbird water music.
Okay.
And we imported her in 2011, I think. Yeah, because she was born 2010, so when they're 1 year old, they can be imported over, but they have to go into quarantine because we don't have rabies and all these other things. So sometimes dogs can be a little bit traumatized from that, just from like the noises and not really seeing things. You don't really know what goes on, but I think it definitely has been getting better. When we sent my border collie to Japan, she seemed pretty happy. Nothing changed. So we got her, and she went on to become an Australian Supreme Champion, which is like the highest you can get.
Started here. Now we're here.
Yep. She is just gorgeous. Like, she's just been the epitome of what a well-bred, like, Welsh Pembroke Corgi looks like. And she went on to give my grandma a nice litter, who then went on, her granddaughter, Holly, went to England and became the first ever Australian-bred corgi to be an English champion.
Wow.
Because to get your champion over there is a lot harder.
Yeah, okay.
So she was the first ever. That was a big deal. So she just went on and did so much for the breed. And she was just like, our family's like heart dog. We just loved her. And I lived with my grandparents I only just moved out.
Yeah.
Now I live in a share house. But I lived with them from when I was 19 to 21, 22. And yeah, she just was, me and her really bonded in that time. She always looked for me. And then she had breast cancer when she was like around 10, but got a mastectomy and was all good. And then, yeah, just old age started happening. She stopped using her back legs a lot, yeah. And my grandma wasn't really ready to let her go, so she would sometimes get up and walk, sometimes wouldn't. But I remember the day when it happened, because I went to uni.
Yeah.
It was the first week of uni, and I saw Nikki in the morning, and she was panting a lot. And I was like, okay, bye, see you later. And then at uni, I got the call that they had to put her down because she was drinking whole bowls of water and then vomiting it back up, so she had liver failure.
Yeah.
And it was just her time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, still miss her, but that's what that's for. So it's for like my grandma, and it's for Nikki, and it's for just like all like everything about the dogs.
Yeah, and the hummingbird's the breed name.
Yeah, and the breed name. So, and what's cool is I asked for to the fox and the hummingbird to be playing together, and then I said, and maybe with some like the sparkles that this artist does, and then she showed me the design and she drew it up, and then without her even knowing the story, she didn't put eyes in the fox. So it was like it was a ghost, and then I told her and she was like, oh my God, that's crazy. So it just makes it all a bit special because it's like they're playing in the sky.
Wow.
It's nice.
It is.
Yeah. I'll probably get a border collie tattoo soon.
Okay. So that's next, huh?
Yeah, probably, but I gotta think, like, this was so good, like, how am I
Yeah.
gonna top that?
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, you've got some real estate left to go.
I do.
Like, you've got your back,
Yep,
got your other arm,
yep.
got
Up on my
thighs.
legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think, yeah, the next one could be the tramp stamp, such as life.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I ask everyone this final question.
Mm-hmm.
Clean skin,
Mm-hmm.
no tattoos. You know me pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend either I get, or my thought process behind getting a tattoo? Not saying I will, just don't get excited. Not saying I will get a tattoo, but if I was, what would be the advice or the idea?
My first thought goes to when in 2018, when it was year 11, and this room wasn't the room that it was. It had cardboard walls up, and the grade above us, we all could draw on it. And someone in the grade above drew you but tatted out, and one that they had was Roz in a love heart. So I think that's what I would recommend you get.
The old Sailor Jerry
Yeah.
style tattoo, big love heart, dagger
Yeah.
through it
Roz.
with like a ribbon and Roz. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But if you were to get one now, it just feels like sunburn, honestly. It doesn't hurt that much.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what everyone else is saying, but okay, you get
Really?
that. Yeah.
For me, I'm just always like, it gets like a burning sensation like sunburn.
Okay. Yeah.
And if anything, the vibrating annoys you more.
Right. Okay.
But I found out I have a pretty high pain threshold, so
All right.
maybe, I don't know, might hurt for you.
And then there's the maintenance afterwards.
Yeah, my tattoo artist, and all of these have healed really well, but not a lot of people do what I do. She wraps it when you're done. She goes, just get home. As soon as you get home, you wash it with warm water, and then like a soap-free soap, so like QV.
Yep.
And then she's like, and then just don't wrap it, just leave it, let it do its thing.
Wow.
And then I just let it do its thing.
That was great. A lot of fine detail in your tattoo.
Yeah, but I know so many people will do the wrap, leave the wrap on, that
they got the
second
cream
skin and the creams. I dry heal,
Right.
which a lot of people hate because it
Gets
gets
flaky.
so itchy
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I think I did a bit of cream on the tail because it's so dark,
Yeah.
and I definitely did cream on this one's face because it's so dark.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just love it, leave it alone,
Okay.
and it just does all right.
It's good advice.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
you could apply that to a lot of things.
Right. Hey, look, thanks for coming in and having a chat.
No worries.
It's been awesome catching up with you. It's been a while.
I know.
Good luck with the teaching. You don't need luck. You'll be great.
Yeah.
You're born to be a teacher, I think.
Yep. Teaching Logan.
Yeah.
Love Logan.
Park Ridge.
Not even. I want to get at Maple Park.
Maple Park. You want to teach in the hood.
Mm.
Good on you.
Community.
Brave choice. The tats, you'll fit in real well. You probably need more. Get a big neck tat and you get respect.
Yep. If anything, if I just listen to the kids, they love you more.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of Islander kids out there.
Sure. Yeah, I taught in Logan for 11 years, so you know.
I love it.
I survived. Actually, apart from here, it's probably my favourite teaching experience because kids there are real.
Yeah,
Like, there's no BS about them. It's just, I tell you.
Yep. And it's just people. Like,
Yeah.
go to uni. People I say I'm from Logan. People are like, oh, what? So you got like stabbed growing up, or oh, so you come from like these rough backgrounds, and it's like, you're from the north side. I can't even tell you where you're from because you'll say a suburb. I don't know where that is.
Yeah,
It means nothing to
you're
me.
on the dark side of the river.
I'm on the good side of the river.
Dark side.
Culture side of the river.
Let's not have that fight. All right, thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.